Welcome to the Dadlore podcast, where we tell funny stories about our dads for your entertainment. We have with my co-host Ali, Sinaz, and your host Jimmy. And today we're going to be telling 3 funny stories from each of our dads. I'll be going first about my dad, who is an officer in law. And back in the day when he was about 33, he was in the undercover drug unit, and they were doing a bust on the apartment building for a drug bust. And he was wearing all black. He was obviously undercover, and they were trying to catch basically a bunch of criminals running around the apartments. Mm-hmm. And then eventually the SWAT team rolled up.
Uh-oh.
And they basically started sweeping the building. And as my dad was running down the stairs...
Hide the coke.
They were hiding the coke, flushing it down the toilets. And my dad was running down the stairs, and as he turned the corner, there was 3 SWAT officers there, and they mistaken him for one of the drug dealers they were trying to catch, and basically just shot him.
Oh, God.
And basically got shot in the side, and he dropped like a ton of bricks, and was on the ground.
Did you drop them on anyone?
Huh?
Did you drop the bricks on anyone?
No, it's a saying, Sinaz. You drop like a ton of bricks.
It's not a saying.
It is a saying.
I've never heard this saying.
Anyways, so he dropped down, he went to the hospital, and this was actually on Christmas Eve. Damn. When I was like 4 years old. And basically...
Where'd he get shot?
In the side, basically it grazed him on like the side of his lower stomach.
Hit him in the obliques.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. So he still has a scar today. It's actually, he has the bullet in a trophy at our house.
Oh, yeah?
Of course he does.
Yeah. And on that day, too, he wasn't even thinking about wearing his bulletproof vest, so it probably could have been a lot worse if he didn't. But his mom convinced him to wear it, so that was very lucky, except for when my aunt slipped down the stairs going to the hospital and dislocated her hip. But yeah, that's one of the many interesting stories.
It was a Boyd Christmas reunion at the hospital.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So now I am going to be talking about one of my dadlore stories. So this story was told by my dad when I was about 15, and he was telling me about his childhood, and he was trying to tell me how I shouldn't be walking late at night alone because it's dangerous and blah blah blah. And I was like, no, Dad, it's not dangerous. And he's like, all right, Saz, let me sit you down, tell you a story. So this is about when my dad was around 17, 18, and he had signed up for a badminton class. And he loved badminton. It was one of his favorite sports.
Jimmy loves badminton too.
Yeah.
Jimmy loves badminton.
I love it. It's my favorite sport.
I bet it is. Not golf or anything.
No.
Okay. And his dad had bought him a new tennis racket. It was the top model tennis rackets, right?
No way.
And he was so excited to use it. And he used it in class. It was awesome. And after his class was done, it was pretty late at night, and he was just walking back and just walking home. It was a couple blocks to their house. And he was super excited. He used his tennis racket. The lesson was great. He was walking back, admiring his tennis racket, until this car pulls up beside him. And they open the door, grab him with the tennis racket, and pull him into the car.
Was it a transit van?
Oh, yeah. It was a black
golden
van.
Skill?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, black.
Oh, scary.
Jimmy loves black.
No.
And my dad, being the courageous dad that he is, starts kicking them and fighting against them and trying to set himself free. And at the end, they grab his racket, but he sets himself free, and half his shirt is ripped, and he jumps out of the car, and they drive away with his racket. And after this instant, he was never allowed to go to class ever again.
Banned from the badminton class.
And he lost his racket, and he is still to this day very sad about the event.
Was this in Canada?
No.
No.
No, where was it?
It was back in Iran. So, people were fighting for rackets or a lot more.
They need the
often.
rackets.
Yeah, they need weapons.
Okay.
Okay, so now my story is more badminton lore. So
Badminton lore is the best.
badminton lore is the best. Wouldn't you agree, Jimmy?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
So my dad grew up in like a pretty small village in Uganda. And growing up, like the only thing, or the thing he wanted the most for like every birthday, every Christmas, he wanted a bike. Exactly.
Poor dude.
And my grandma was so afraid that he would take the bike. I don't know why, but she was like terrified that he would take the bike and just leave and never come home, and that she would never see him again, and he would just be gone for good. So then she got him a badminton racket and made him play badminton every day, and he couldn't leave. He would just be at home, just like hitting it against the wall. And then he kept playing badminton. Sorry, go on.
This is like a sad story.
No, it's a great story. Because then
Dude, I feel bad for
because then
this
he
man.
played badminton so much, and then he loved badminton, and then he moved to Canada when he was like 19, or no, when he was like 17, and then he played in his school team, and then he was like really good, and he played for Team Canada, and then won a bunch of trophies.
Nice.
All because
Oh, because
my
his mom
grandma
didn't
was too
want her
afraid
to
him
run
to
away.
run away on a bike.
See, badminton opens so
Badminton
many
opens
doors.
stories. Badminton is lore. Badminton's life.
Badminton is life.
Everyone should play badminton.
Everyone should play badminton. I think that's the main takeaway of this episode.
Yeah.
I agree.
Everyone should play badminton.
Everyone should play badminton. It leads to great stories and
At least-
experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
They gotta have the dad lore railed up.
Yeah. And that's all the time we have today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode of the Dad Lore podcast. This was just a soft launch, our first one, but you guys are not ready for the hard launch.